Level 1. Sterling Sub. Forrest White and Tom Walker founded Music Man in 1971. They weren't alone though. They had a secret partner. After selling Fender in 1965, Leo was banned from the musical instruments industry for 10 years. It was only after 1975 that he became the CEO. But he had been working with them since day one. Leo went over to found G&L with George Fullerton in 1979. Before departing, he worked with Sterling Ball, the son of Ernie, on the bass prototypes for the StingRay. By 1984, Sterling, commanding Ernie Ball since 1974, bought Music Man and released new bass models that resuscitated the company's name and fame the following year. Affordable Music Man lines were called OLP until 2008. And SUB until 2009. That year, lines were reunited under the Sterling name as an homage to the man who gave the company its rebirth. Nowadays, the first step into Music Man world is the sub-brand, or SUB, now named Sterling Sub. The first model to look at is the Intro series. These are modeled after the StingRay bass and are made to compete in the $300 line. This bass is a slab poplar body with a maple neck and a maple or jatoba fingerboard. The 34-inch scale and the 9.5-inch radius give the neck a familiar feel. The humbucker is a different story. The pickup comes loaded with ceramic magnets that are powerful but undefined. Sporting 2 controls and no control plate helps keep costs down. It's a passive bass departing from traditional Music Man audio and playing experience. The next model, the Ray 4, is $100 more expensive than the Intro, but offers an experience closer to the real thing. Besides the basswood body adding more definition and low end, the onboard preamp and bass and treble active controls make the ceramic humbucker alive. It's quite literally like injecting electricity into inanimate matter. Both basses clone the early 70s StingRay looks with rounder edges and not so pronounced contour lines. Both lines offer them in many colors. Level 2. Sterling Sub Ray 4HH. One thing is keeping the vintage crew happy by offering timeless tones at affordable prices. A different one is pushing the boundaries through innovation. Yet, like everything timeless Leo Fender created, it's always one step into the future. Like the jazz bass, it's still futuristic today. Leo created a line of instruments while at Music Man called StingRay. He was experimenting with dual humbucker designs at the time, so he came up with a matching bass and guitar set in 1979. It turned out to be a flop, and Music Man never made dual humbucker StingRays until 2009. After customers and fans requested more tonal versatility, the company released the StingRay HH in 2009. It was received with critical acclaim and has remained in the Music Man and Sterling catalogs since. The Ray 4 HH version can be made of basswood, poplar, or jambon, with rock maple necks and either jatoba or maple fingerboards. The neck features a comfortable and modern 9.5-inch radius over a standard 34-inch scale with 22 frets. That's the end of the similarities with the Ray 4, because the 5-way pickup selector is the heart and soul of this bass. The first position is the bridge humbucker at full power, which gives you classic StingRay sounds. The second position is the outer coil of each humbucker, which helps give it the single coil edge, especially when played with a pick. The third is both pickups on, which can be killer in big chorus. The fourth is the darkest, using each of the inner coils of the humbuckers. Finally, the neck humbucker sounds thumping, punchy, and full. The tonal versatility in this line is virtually endless. The Ray 5 HA, which is the 5-string version of this bass, offers a flatter 12-inch radius, which makes the extra string feel more natural to the player. For players in search of a modern, versatile, good-looking bass at around the $500 mark, this is the perfect model. Level 3. Sterling Ray 34. The Sterling by Music Man line made its market debut in 2009. Music Man licensed Praxis musical instruments to build in China and Indonesia and import to the USA, the Sterling Music Man line. The Sterling line, which is something close to Fender Mexico, is the first instrument that looks, plays, and sounds close to the core line. It's divided into 2 different approaches. On one hand, the classic, and on the other, the modern. The classic is called Ray 24. and comes in two versions. The maple neck and maple fretboard features a Nyato body, which is a low-end friendly affordable replacement for mahogany. The rosewood fingerboard version features a real mahogany body. The combination of a massive mahogany body with a maple neck balances the equation, giving the StingRay 24 that traditional growl and snap music Man is known for. Neck-wise, the base features a traditional 34-inch scale with a comfortable 9.5-inch radius and a narrow 1.5-inch nut. This is a truly vintage spec. It's noticeably smaller and more comfortable. The electronics feature an H1 ceramic humbucker and a 9-volt preamp, with a 2-band EQ mounted over that iconic metallic control plate. The next model on the line is the Ray 34, which represents the model iteration of the StingRay. Although the body is more contoured and the roasted maple neck gives it a different tone and look, the true difference is in the electronics. This model features an Alnico magnet humbucker with a 3-band EQ. While Alnico sounds more vintage than ceramic, the extra EQ band brings everything to the present. Finally, the StingRay SS is great for players with small hands, guitarists waiting to venture into the bass world, and beginners. It features a 30-inch scale, a passive preamp, and a lightweight neodymium pickup with tone and volume control layout. The Ray 24 goes for $649, the short scale goes for $749, and the Ray 34 can be bought for $899 in a regular finish and $1,049 for a sparkle one. These basses make great touring companions, great sounding backups, and can also be a lifetime tone maker with proper care and maintenance. Level 4. StingRay 34 HH. This is where the brand releases all the new stuff they want to try on their audience. The first thing to name is the rare woods used for the tops of some Ray 34 StingRays. These can sport a spalted maple or burl poplar veneer. This means that, while the tonal properties of the maple and poplar top remain the same, what you can see through the paint is a photo of an amazing top, but not the real wood on your bass. These wood types give the instrument a bit more mid-range, which helps it cut better through the mix. All of them share the same roasted maple neck and electronics as a regular Ray 34, but cost up to $1,049. The dual humbucker Ray 34 HH features a Nyato body to ensure the low end. Neck-wise, the same 34-inch scale and 9.5-inch radius is shared by the entire line. Electronics-wise, it features Alnico humbuckers that sound more defined. The 5-way switch helps the bass become multiple instruments in one, while Alnico's clarity makes the use of positions 1 and 2 much more fruitful. This translates into sweet melodic tones for the rosewood fretboard and bold lead tones for maple fingerboards. Likewise, adding the active 3-band EQ to the 5-way switch opens the tone palette widely. All these basses are available in 4 strings, but also in 5 strings with a slightly flatter, more comfortable 12-inch radius. These are great bass guitars for studio musicians who want to add more than one tone without adding more than one bass to the arsenal. Also, pro musicians could enjoy them as a backup. Price-wise, the Ray 34 HH is at $1,099, and the Ray 34 HH with a spalted maple top is $1,249. The 5-string version, the Ray 35 HH, is at $979. Level 5. Man StingRay USA. The first StingRay bass was introduced in 1975. The retro version of the StingRay honors that first version, respecting many of the specs that made it a classic among funk players in the 70s. It features the typical Fender 70s 3-bolt neck plate, and the battery door is made of metal and held on with 2 screws. The body is a no-contour slab of ash, making it an instrument full of bright overtones in a vibrant mid-range. Adding to the vintage vibe, the D-shaped neck with the era-correct 7.25-inch radius is what old-school players love, a neck that touches your palm and feels comfortable. The electronics feature Alnico V magnets inside a classic humbucker that gives the vintage warmth and roundness you'd expect from a vintage bass. The company went as far as using new old stock of original poly-nylon wire to bring the tone even closer to the original. The 2-band EQ and 9-volt preamp are enough to give tone headroom and power to take the mid-range and low end forward even further. Man's flagship instrument has gone through many modifications to arrive at the current StingRay Special, sold today. This modern version of the bass is 1 pound lighter than the original because of the extra contours that make it more ergonomic and more comfortable for long sessions. The body is made of select hardwood, so it's not clear what it's made of. It meets the modern C-shaped neck with a 5-bolt easy-access cutaway that makes it easier to reach the 22nd fret. The scale is the typical 34 inches, and the modern radius at 11 inches makes this a shredding-friendly bass. The StingRay Special also features a redesigned 18-volt circuit with a 3-band EQ, which is enough headroom to play whatever is needed. It's also available as a 5-string bass and with an HH configuration. For those after the holy grail chasing the quintessential Music Man tone, the Retro will be a goldmine. For those who want to enjoy the evolution of musical instrument making while having that Music Man tone at the bridge, the Special will be just perfect. These are instruments aimed at the professional musician with top-notch parts and craftsmanship, a bass to play for a lifetime. The StingRay Retro is $3,200.99. The StingRay Special goes for $2,600.99. The HH and 5-string versions are $2,700.99, and the HH 5-string goes for $2,899 to $3,199 depending on the finish. Level 6. Music Man DarkRay. Music Man and Dark Glass Electronics unveiled their anticipated collaboration with DarkRay in June 2021. Dark Glass is a cutting-edge, bass-oriented pedal and amplifier brand. It was founded by Douglas Castro and Hugo Villarreal in 2009 in Helsinki, Finland. Together, both companies designed a revolutionary preamp system that could create Music Man tones, but could also bring mayhem at the flick of a switch. The electronics are made of 5 knobs and a 3-way switch. The first is the blend knob, which allows the player to add as much distortion to the tone as wanted. Grain is the second knob, surrounded by a multicolor LED ring, then a master volume and an active 2-band EQ. The first position of the 3-way switch is typical Music Man tone, while the second position turns the gain knob ring red and engages alpha distortion. The third position engages the omega distortion, which is thicker, closer to fuzz than to distortion. The result is a bombastic instrument with a built-in pedal board ready to go. The Sterling version comes with a Nyato body and a maple neck with an ebony fingerboard. The 18-volt preamp works, adding headroom to the clean tones and the strength to the dirt. The Music Man version is made of selected hardwoods and comes with a maple neck with an ebony fingerboard. The humbucker, though, comes with neodymium magnets, making the instrument lighter and more defined. The DarkRay also comes in a fretless bass and ash body, and the same circuitry as the rest. The Sterling 4-string model goes for $1,599, and the Music Man goes for $2,999. The 5-string versions are $1,699 and $3,099 respectively. Some Music Man players have such a profound knowledge of their instrument that they added small changes that other players could benefit from. These are the artist signature models, which are modified versions of the Music Man classics. Pino Palladino recreated his 79 fretless StingRay. Mike Herrera's added band logo on his. Joe Dart embraced simplicity by reducing all controls to a single volume knob for his signature model, and nothing at all for his Sterling Vision. The Sterling version of Mike Herrera and Joe Dart's basses is the most affordable at around $500. Music Man models start at $2,600 and go all the way up to $3,500 for Pino's fretless 79 replica. Level 7. Music Man Bongo. Designworks was founded in 1972 in the Malibu Canyon by Charles Pelly as a design studio. After designing through the 70s and the 80s for brands like BMW, Nokia, and Adidas, it was bought by BMW in 1991. What does this have to do with basses? Well, Music Man hired Designworks to design their Bongo model, which debuted in 2003. The ergonomic lines for the body, the modern circuitry, and the cutting-edge colors make it a futuristic statement. The Sterling versions sports a mahogany body and a maple neck with a maple or rosewood fingerboard, featuring 24 frets with a regular 34-inch scale, and a flat and fast 12-inch radius. The 2 ceramic humbuckers unleash all their power through an active preamp with a 2-band EQ. One revolutionary feature is the blend knob that fine-tunes the tone between the pickups. The US version of the Bongo features a basswood body with a modern maple neck that is similar to the Sterling, but it comes with either maple or ebony fingerboards. The electronics in both models differ a lot. The USA-made Bongo features a 4-band EQ and an 18-volt preamp. The Sterling features a 2-band EQ and a 9-volt preamp. Likewise, the neodymium pickups sound cleaner and more defined than the ceramic humbuckers in the Sterling version. The Sterling 4-string version is $799, and the 5-string is $899. The Music Man 4-string is $3,099, the 5-string is $3,199, and the 6-string is $3,299. The Bongo can be a great bass to play any genre. It shows the best of Music Man's innovative spirit, derived from its early days next to Leo Fender, a restless inventor.